This model looks so cool. And the armor, look at it. With the rapier sword on the left, the dagger on the right, being covered by his hand a little bit. What's going on, guys? It's me, Semi-Mong, and today we are back taking a look at the new class within Crowfall, the Assassin. As you can see, I am slightly geared already, and that's because I started my own playthrough. It is an EU server, so if you want to take a look at how the game sort of just plays out rather than the skills of the classes, be sure to check that video out. It'll be either out yesterday or out tomorrow. But let's jump straight into this with the assassin's skills. As you can see, it is just like the druid. You have a melee tray and then you have a stealth tray. Something to note is that you cannot enter your stealth tray from your melee tray. So you can see I'm in the harvesting mode at the moment. Blah 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 blah. I can switch to my combat tray by pressing Z. As you can see, all of my skills are down the bottom, but I can't go into stealth from my combat tray. So if you're thinking of being a sort of a nimble assassin like in World of Warcraft, where you can stealth in, stealth out and do whatnot, it doesn't quite play like that. What you can do is go straight from your harvesting tray to your stealth tray like this. And then obviously your stealth skills are just sort of opening skills rather than combat skills. So I think that's why they've done that. Although, once again, something to note is that while you're in your combat tray, your ultimate ability, your Q ability, is a shadow step. So it allows you to go into the stealth, pretty much. So it is a full circle. Like they do counter it out. So let's go back onto the skill tab. If we look onto the melee tray, we've gotten some pretty standard, just sort of roguelike, stealth assassin-like skills. You generate pips and you use these pips to either poison or stun your target, or finishers. So first sort of basic attack you got is backstab. Now this will generate 2 pips if you attack them from behind. So you can stun your target and then go behind them and attack them, and it'll get more pips. But if you're unable to do that and attack them from the front, it still generates 1 pip, although it does a ton less damage. So what you want to try and do is stun your target and get behind them and then use backstab. You've then got Disengaged, which once again generates a pip, allows you to just like backwards roll away from the fight, generate a pip, and then if you want to, you can re-engage. As you can see underneath the engage, it says, underneath Disengage, it says engage. This will generate another pip, okay, and then pretty much you can continue on the fight from there. Now these are your only 2 pip generators. You either got to stab them from the back, or you've got to disengage and re-engage. Now the pip spenders are diffusion, and then actually I was about to say all of the names. I'll go through them one by one. Diffusion applies a toxin to your target. So I've got the poison toxin equipped up here. This is something new that's been added for the assassin, and this will just apply poison and slow my enemies. Now you can get different toxins. As you can see in the list, you've got disease and nature toxins as well, but unfortunately they're not in the basic crafting station, so I couldn't actually create them. I don't know how to, but I will get there eventually, okay? I'll get back to that. The next one we've got is Cursed Weapon. You can ensure your weapon with a cruel enchantment, causing its damage type to become diseased, with the duration scaling with pips spent. So just extra damage pretty much. Like you've got the poison or you've got a curse. I don't know what it means in causing its damage type to become disease. Maybe damage over time. I haven't really used it. What I've been using is the Dagger Storm and then Kidney Shot. So Kidney Shot is the stun. So what I've been doing is I've been stealthing in, trying to stun people. I'll go through the stealth skills in a minute, but I've been trying to stun people with a stun from the stealth tray. I've then been trying to generate a couple of pips with backstab, disengaging because it actually does damage, and then re-engaging, and I end up with like 3 or 4 pips, in which case I can then stun them again for an extra 5 or 6 seconds and get back behind them with the backstab. If you want to see how that worked out, be sure to check out that playthrough, the actual gameplay of me using the assassin. Little heads up, I had a bit of trouble, okay? So any tips and tricks would be appreciated. But Dagger Storm is like a I want to say your ranged attack, but it is not really that sort of rangey. It's got a bit of range to it, but nothing major. And you use 1 pip to fling daggers at a target, and you can chain this up to 4 times. Each time it will do more damage. As you can see, you start off with 56 to 84 and 70% damage, and it scales all the way up to the bottom of the list, 90 to 134 with 112% damage. So that is your basic, let me readjust, your basic melee tray, okay? You've got your pip generators, backstab and disengage, and then you've got your spenders with the stun, the poison and the curse, and if you want that extra little bit of range, you've got the Dagger Storm. But the more interesting part is the stealth tray. With the stealth tray, obviously you want to be opening up fights in stealth, so you don't want to be in your melee tray, you want to open up fights in stealth, and it offers just three easy ways to open up a fight. If you've already got pips, because you can generate pips while you're not in combat. Let me just go through that at the moment. As you can see, if I go to my combat tray, if I disengage and engage, you can see in the right hand side, I'm already generating pips. I'm not in combat, I'm not doing anything. These will not fade away either. So I've got 2 at the moment. Look, here's another 2. Bam. Look, it won't let me. You gotta wait for the cooldown to engage again. But yeah, you've got some pips that you could stack up before you go into a fight. And I say that because if you've got pips, what I usually do is stun the target. But because I've already got pips stacked up, I could go in with the first one, Ambush, which is a big damaging backstab, and then I could stun them straight away with my kidney shot from the combat tray, rather than having to open the fight with this cheap shot, which stuns them for 5 seconds. So there's a lot of variety and just sort of different ways that you can play this game, really. It's sort of this class, like, there is just, what's the word? It's very flowing or free form, so to say. But to actually go through the stealth skills rather than just ranting on, you've got Ambush, which is step from the shadows to deliver a lethal surprise attack while generating pips. Exposed targets are critically hit with full weapon damage, and it generates 3 pips anyway. So are you gonna generate the pips beforehand with disengage and engage, or are you just gonna allow Ambush to generate the pips? If I was you, I would just generate them, just so you've got 5 stacked up ready to fight. You've then got cheap shot, which once again opens the fight by just stunning the target. Depending on what pips you've got, you can open the fight by stunning the target. You could open the fight by ambushing and then stunning them. You could open the fight by stunning them, doing some basic attacks, and then just stunning them again. Like, it is truly up to you. You've then got Spirit Dart, which is another sort of range-ish attack. Pop out of the stealth, briefly launching a Spirit Dart at an enemy and applying your current equipped toxin before returning to stealth. So my current equipped toxin would be poison, so it would poison them pretty much. But this one allows you to go back into stealth, which I think is pretty nifty. You've then got a recon as well, so you can reveal weaknesses on your enemies. Guys, that is the Assassin. Let me know what you think. I'm just trying to turn him around. He looks pretty cool. Oh! Something to note as well, this is the new race. Let me just whip that up. This is the Nethari, a human type race. Just got white hair pretty much. I didn't want to sacrifice myself. I'm going to have to cancel that in a minute. Yeah, I'm going to have to cancel it. But look, we've got the Nethari. The Nethari is now available, male and female versions. The only races we are waiting on now is the High Elf and the Stoneborn. So they're going to be interesting to look at, especially the High Elf, seeing as you can get Frostweaver, sort of Frost Mage compared to the Confessor, which we've been having. But yeah, Nethari looks pretty cool. As I said, the only real difference between human and Nethari is the skin tone, which is a bit lighter, and the hair, which is just outright white, to be honest with you. But let's exit that and let's return back to my Assassin. Guys, if you haven't already got Crowfall, be sure to pick it up. It is a very unique game, so to say the least. But yeah, get involved in the comment section down below. I shall reply. For some gaming gear, accessories, games, clothing, whatever it may be, check out the Amazon link in the description down below. It leads you to the Game On store. Thank you for all of the support, and I shall see you in the next video.